Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, and welcome back to Green River. This is episode number 25, I do believe. And thanks all for coming back for another episode here. We just sort of positioned that full load of pallets just on the other side of the building. You can kind of see them there in the windows. And I am going to try to do my best to get these two pallets here picked up and moved out to the trailer, and then we are going to go and start our harvesting job of that second canola field. Now we are in the same game day as we were in before, and as a matter of fact I think I am going to just pump our time up there to 5x instead of 3, just simply because we've got the additional time, and we can certainly get everything done that we need to get done. So anyway, hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful day. As I had indicated in the previous episode, episode number 24, that I recorded on the 5th of November. My apologies for having another hiatus there, but it is just what it is. And so I'm going to, again, try to do my best to do a better job with keeping things a little more consistent once Farm Sim 19 comes out, and I just really appreciate everybody's patience, really, with sort of the remaining life of 17, just simply because I have not done a great job of keeping everything running and keeping everything consistent and all that kind of stuff. And for that, again, like I said, I'm sorry, but I also know that you all fully understand all of that. So I'm going to tab over and get into our harvester, because this is really the job that we're going to do here today, is we are going to harvest this field. This is field number 16. This is our second of our 2 canola fields. We've got a hired worker, a horseplay worker, that's going to be driving the warrior there with the auger wagon, and probably have maybe, hopefully, 1.5 auger wagon loads full of this canola, hopefully. We'll just kind of have to see how that goes. But anyway, hope everyone is having a fantastic day. I do appreciate you all tuning in and watching my episodes. I do. From the bottom of my heart, I really mean that. I'm fortunate because I'll tell you, when I started this channel in back in the Farm Sim 15 days, I had absolutely no idea at all that it would grow to be what it is. I had no idea that was even capable, even possible of being able to achieve that. I really started this channel because I had some tips that, or some sort of how-tos that I wanted to put out there, some things that I had seen had frustrated some folks in some of the forums and everything, and I kind of thought, well, let me, I kind of understand what it is and how it works and everything, so let me throw that out there and try to help some folks. And then, of course, I had been a fan of watching many YouTube Farm Sim 15 folks putting together episodes and everything, and I sort of thought to myself, well, that's kind of cool. Let me see how that works out. Let me see if anyone is even interested in watching what I have to do and what I have to say and all that kind of stuff. And it's just kind of grown, and I've met so many wonderful people, and I genuinely mean that. I've got so many wonderful friends that I would have never met had it not been through the magic of, well, first of all, Farm Sim 15, and then now 17, and soon to be 19, and of course the magic of the whole YouTube community and social media and all that kind of stuff. So I am very, very, like I said, very appreciative of that, and friends that I hope will become or will remain lifelong friends, because I've certainly known some of these folks for quite a time, and it's just fantastic. And I've really enjoyed putting the content together, putting the episodes together, and there are times I struggle, because sometimes I think to myself, my gosh, why would anyone tune in to listen to me babble about things that I do either at work, or things that I've got going on in my personal life, or listening to me moan on about making pens, or doing whatever I do. And so, but you guys do, and I'm very appreciative that you tune in. And yeah, so I'm gonna endeavor to try to do a better job once 19 comes out, of being a little bit more consistent with the flow of episodes and whatnot. And let's see if he can navigate that pole. I'm going to stop, because I think if I continue on, he is only going to have problems. So we're going to stop and let him unload. Now, yeah, because otherwise I think he will just have some problems. So I'm curious if anyone has been experimenting with the compaction mod for FarmSim 17. This came out from the folks that make the Seasons mod, and I know it's been out for quite some time. It's been out probably since summer, maybe like June, July timeframe. I think it's still maybe in beta according to their GitHub website. I don't see it on the Giants Mod Hub, so I'm assuming that it's not been baked into. I'm assuming it's not been baked into the Seasons mod. And is he going to be able to sort himself out over there? I don't think he is. So bear with me just one moment. So I don't think it's been baked into the Seasons mod, or at least it doesn't appear to have been. That would be kind of a nice feature if it was. And of course, with only a few weeks left until FarmSim 19, I don't know if I'll even get around to messing about with it. I have downloaded it, and I have basically dropped it into my mods folder, and I've activated it onto one of my test maps that I don't really care about if it were to break it or whatever, and just kind of looking at the features and everything. And I kind of like what they've done with it. I understand that it's basically to emulate or simulate the soil conditions of the fields after having vehicles and everything drive over the top of it, and how that it compacts the soil and everything down. So I think that's kind of cool. So hopefully that will be something that they will continue to further develop and obviously make available for FarmSim 19. As I sort of mentioned in the previous episode, and again I think that was episode number 24, I have still been kind of keeping an eye on mods and such for FarmSim 17, and I have been sort of not really avoiding looking at new maps, but sometimes I'll see a map and it'll just make me want to play it so bad that I would fear that it might pull me away from either this map or something else. And of course I don't have enough time to start a brand new map from scratch and have any success at trying to get it more or less completed, get harvest and everything done prior to, especially playing with Seasons mod, prior to FarmSim 19 coming out. So I've again kind of been just not really paying a whole lot of attention to the new stuff, but I have been looking at the mods, and I really can't remember if in the end days, like say the last month, maybe 2 months of FarmSim 15 life, if there was the number of mods that was coming out for it. But I seem to at least my experience, what I've seen, and of course this is coming from me that doesn't necessarily go out and look every single day, just because I haven't had a whole lot of time. But even over the last couple of weeks when I haven't been recording content, I have been trying to stay in the loop on things. I've been trying to stay in the loop on all the news and the stuff that we can sort of expect and anticipate from for 19. But it just seems like that there has been a whole lot of mods that have come out for Farm Sim 17 in the final, the final weeks of its life. And of course, I say the final weeks of its life. There's certainly there's nothing that basically is going to render Farm Sim 17 from not being able to work. I'm sure that there are still people who play Farm Sim 15 and maybe never made the move to 19. There may be some folks that may stay on 17 and may not make the move to 19. Now, I don't know, for example, I don't know if mods are being actively developed and released for Farm Sim 15. I kind of doubt it, just simply because, now that we're essentially 2 years away from the last of it, from Farm Sim 15 or Farm Sim 17 being released, I'm kind of thinking that maybe it's just too, it's just too old. And I'm sure that there will come a point in time where folks will say the same thing about 17, about that, well, we're not gonna make any more mods for it. But anyway, I just think it's a little interesting that there is this much this much activity in the final weeks of 17 that we're seeing. But of course, it could be that these were things that were in process maybe 3, 4, 5 months ago, and it just takes a while to develop this stuff. As I've said before, I really don't know how much effort goes into creating a mod. I know that they're quite sophisticated from kind of what I can see with just my eyes when I look at things either in Giants Editor or just look at all the coding and everything behind the scenes. So I do know that obviously there's a level of effort that's involved, and I know that there are some folks. Stevie, for example, has posted on his Facebook page the last couple of weeks that he is already working on maps for Farm Sim 19. That's pretty cool, and it will be interesting to see just who is potentially one of the first to release a modded map for Farm Sim 19. That's going to be quite interesting. Now, the only thing that I will say, and I don't mean this in any sort of negative way whatsoever at all, but it looks like the map that Stevie is working on for Farm Sim 19 is a remake of his Ringwoods map that he came out with in Farm Sim 15, and I absolutely love that map. And it was Ringwoods, if I think I'm correct in thinking this, that Ringwoods was basically his remake of Westbridge Hills, and it was a map that I spent many hours playing. But the only thing that I'm seeing with, at least with that, is that, because it's that mountain, sort of the mountain-esque scene and whatnot, is it's too eerily familiar to Goldcrest Valley and all of the Goldcrest Valley edits that we have seen come out for Farm Sim 17. And it's almost, within a few weeks of Farm Sim 17 coming out, Stevie had released his edit of Goldcrest Valley, which was a welcome sight. I've got to admit that I really was not impressed with the default Goldcrest Valley, but I was quite impressed with his edit. And of course, with like Pine Cove, which was a kind of a Goldcrest Valley edit. But, I would kind of like to get away from that mountain-esque kind of thing and see more types of maybe Midwestern, central kind of type farming stuff that we've seen with, like, say, for example, Tazewell County with South Mountain Creamery, even something similar to I can't think of the name of the map right now, but it was based down in down in the panhandle of Florida. I can't think of what it was. It'll come to my mind here in just a moment. But I'd like to see more of that, and not just another sort of addition of Goldcrest Valley, just simply because that scenery and everything just kind of gets a little bit old after a while. And actually, I watched a video today from Giants, kind of getting caught up on some of the previews and stuff that they have been releasing for Farm Sim 19. And actually, I saw that their US map looks sort of similar to Goldcrest Valley in the sense that it is kind of a mountain type setting. But oh well, beggars can't be choosers, and hopefully there'll be enough new things and new stuff within the map that it'll be interesting to us all, and we'll just love every minute of it. But I'm sure that we'll see some of our old favorites. I think though that it might be some maps may have just run their course and just aren't necessarily going to be worthy of making their way into Farm Sim 19. Things, dare I say, something like, even though I enjoyed Thornton Farm when I played it on 17 a few months ago, maybe things like Cobalt Park Farm, maybe those maps have seen their usefulness and everything sort of end. I don't know. What do you think? Do you want to continue to see maps that maybe were developed for Farm Sim 13, 15, see their way into 19? Or do you think that it would be best for those map modders, those map authors, to basically say, like a Bullet Bill, for example, with Cobalt Park Farm, say, well, that's, Farm Sim 17, that's the end of the line for Cobalt Park Farm. It's been around since at least 15. It may have been around for 13. I didn't play 13. And let some of these very talented people come up with other maps. Now, for example, I'm hoping that Bullet Bill brings Lone Oak Farm to 19, because I did not get a chance to play that in 17, and I would love to play that map. And maybe there are others that I would like to maybe see Oakfield make its way, because that was another map that I did not get to play in 17. But I'm thinking that the West Bridge Hills, the variations of it, and some of those, maybe they're best to just let those maps sunset. And if folks really want to play them, if they have an affection to them, then they play those maps on the older platforms and let those map authors move on to other things. I don't know, just kind of thinking out loud here and talking to you all. And if you have ideas or opinions, leave them in the comment section down below the video, and we'll see what folks think. And I even, and I've said this before, I think that it's possible that even, some of the mods, the equipment mods and such, that we have seen that have been ported over from FS11 to 13 to 15 to 17, maybe those things need to also sort of be sunsetted, because it's like if there's some of these mods, even though we love them and we often rely on them, sometimes they look dated. They look a little bad. And I'm wondering, as I've often pointed out, the fact that John Deere mods are notorious for not being the greatest performing. Either tractors have the shakes, or they have other little glitches or whatever that's going on with them. Maybe that the reason why they have those glitches is because they were originally developed for 11 and then ported over for 13 and then 15 and then 17, and it's kind of like, okay, let's just stop. Let's just create new stuff. Let's say that, you know, Farm Sim 19 is going to be that break point, and we create new stuff for it, and everybody's happy because we have nice functioning mods, we have nice looking mods, and of course we need to see things like Courseplay and GPS mod and Seasons mod, and I'm kind of hopeful that that somehow or another we could see an adaptation of the soil mod, or at least some of the features of the soil mod, make its way into the Seasons mod, or at least into some mod that can bring them into the game. But some of this other stuff, maybe it's time to just say, yeah, goodbye. And of course, maybe, you know, that may be something that Giants is going to have to do. Of course, I don't think, you know, I think there'll be, in my opinion, I think that there will be significant difference between Farm Sim 19 and 17, just like there was significant difference between 17 and 15. But I wonder if, you know, if we need Giants to, you know, do some kind of revolutionary thing in time that essentially renders a lot of these older mods almost useless, to the point so that we can start having some better performing, better functioning types of mods and stuff like that. I don't know. It is just an interesting concept. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to just, I think, continue to drive around this field in a circle. We are almost done, and then probably finish up the rest of this off camera, get this moved over to the bio facility, the biofuel facility, and then we'll figure out what we want to do when we come back for the next episode. I think we'll probably be in the next game day, because again, I'm kind of wanting to just move this series along, move things along, and get things to a point to where that we can sort of wrap this up around the time that at least I get back from Texas, to be able to start playing Farm Sim 19 and of course recording content on it. But I think we can definitely get through the harvest and get into the winter time frame for this map, and then it'll probably be time for 19. So I think I'm just going to wrap this episode here up. We've been at it for about 25 minutes, and we'll just say thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you guys watching my videos. Please don't forget to check out PCSG. PCSG is one of the most fantastic forum communities for Farming Simulator and other simulation-based gaming titles that you will find out on the interwebs. And of course, everyone over there is gearing up for Farm Sim 19, and of course we've got a lot of experts and everything that have history with the other versions of Farm Sim as well, including 15 and even earlier than that. And of course, head over to the Simulation Gaming Society Discord channel. All the links and everything will be down below the video. So again, I appreciate you guys watching my channel, being my friend, and I hope that you will come back to see another episode here on the Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel very, very soon. Take care of yourselves and also of each other. God bless you all. Bye-bye.